Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have a 2025 Honda Passport. We'll look at the interior, exterior, some of the trim level specifics, then go for a spin around, see what it's like out on the road. All right, so now we're behind the wheel of the 25 Passport, and this is the EXL. So it's going to come in 3 different trim levels. You've got your EXL, the Trail Sport, which is going to be a little bit more off-road focused, and then you've got the Black Edition, which is going to be the top of the line. So for a base model, this is pretty well equipped. So we'll put it in drive, go for a spin around, and touch on some of those features. Now, to start, what powers the Honda Passport? Now, all of them are going to come with a 3.5 liter V6. It's going to give you about 280 horsepower, and that's going to come with a 9-speed automatic transmission. Now, what's great about all of the Honda Passports, being that we're up here in the Midwest in the middle of winter, they all come with an all-wheel drive system. So whether you're looking to do a little bit of off-roading in the Trail Sport, maybe you're into the outdoors activities, that might be a great fit, but the EXL as the base trim also gets all-wheel drive, which I love. From the outside looking in, this one is in the Sonic Gray Pearl, and this would absolutely be the color I would pick. It looks so good with the silver 20-inch wheels that also come on this model. I think it's a really cool color. It kind of changes on a cloudy day like today, and then when the sunlight hits it, you get that pearl effect. I really like it, and there is a handful of other really cool colors, including kind of that powder blue color that can come on the Trail Sport, which does look really good, or some of the other models. Now, maybe you're asking yourself, what's the difference between the Passport and the Pilot? Now, where the Pilot gets the 3rd row, this one doesn't have a 3rd row in it. It's going to give you a lot of storage space, though, in return. Now, there is a little bit of storage underneath the floor, so you can pick up that back little cover. There's kind of 2 little cubbies on each side, and the seats do fold down pretty much flat. So it's a 60-40 split. There's actually a little button in the back you can click. That's going to kick each side of the seat down, or you can pull the handle on the side. But I was amazed at just how much room you have. But interior comfort, you feel that as well. Now, looking at the 2nd row, you could easily put 5 adults in here. I was comfortable at 6'1" where I'm driving. I had plenty of knee space and headroom back there. So I think it is very comfortable for this vehicle. Now, in the driver's seat, that is really where you want to be. Now, I think it's more than enough power to get you up and get you moving into traffic, yet it's going to return about 24 mpg on the highway. So fuel economy wise, for a V6, this also can tow 5,000 pounds. So with the 9-speed automatic transmission, it's pretty easy to, hook up your boat, go to the lake for the weekend. Maybe you got a small trailer you're toting around. It's going to tow a little bit more, I think, than the Toyota and the Hyundai. So that is something to consider if you got the boat, or like I said, maybe you've got a trailer you're bringing with. But from the driver's seat, it's comfortable, it's quiet out here on the road. I love about the Hondas is that they never overcomplicate anything. Once you figure out, if you're not used to the shift-by-wire system, where you're simply just clicking drive, reverse, or park, once you get that nailed down, everything else is very straightforward. So from the driver's seat, the infotainment screen is really easy to use. Plus, in this particular model, I plugged my phone in and you've got Apple CarPlay as well. You can do Android Auto. Now, what's nice about that, if you go up a trim level, you can also go to the wireless Apple CarPlay system. But, it's got wireless charging in here. There's also a USB and USB-C charging. So you or your passenger can keep your devices charged up, and you've also got charging in that 2nd row, which makes it great for the kids. But the leather-wrapped steering wheel is really nice in here, and all of the information that you need is going to be found in this little digital gauge cluster. So you can go through, you can click the home button, go down, it's going to show you a bunch of stuff that's just kind of your pertinent information, things you want to keep an eye on, or if you've got your Apple CarPlay going, you can see your music, even the all-wheel drive torque if you want to see how that's working. That's pretty cool that it's also built in there. Now, there is also voice controls, so you can click the little button, it'll pop up a menu on the infotainment screen, and that will allow you to not break your focus from the road. So let's touch on safety. Now, this is going to have a ton of safety built in from the Honda safety sensing system, forward collision warning, you get blind spot monitoring, an adaptive cruise control system, which is absolutely one of my favorite features. You can set 4, 3, 2, 1 car length distance ahead of you. It's going to keep that distance on the road. It makes it very easy to eat up a bunch of miles. And also, you have a lane keeping assist. So all this stuff, you can go into the menu. If you don't want it, if you find it too intrusive, you can just turn it off. But I think a lot of that safety stuff, especially if you and your family are going to be in the vehicle, is very nice to have, and it's kind of keeping an eye out when maybe you aren't. Now, what about the overall ride and drive? So if you've spent any time in a Honda before, basically what you're buying a Honda for. The reliability, the ease of use, just I think the style and design, it's not overly done. In a day and age where everything looks crazy and one vehicle has to look more insane than the next, I think the Passport is pretty, kind of basic looking, but I like that about it. It's not overcomplicated in any way. If you want, you can put the cargo box on the roof, you can put the roof rack with the cross rails up there, you could go away for a long weekend and you're not gonna be thinking about, is this gonna break down? Am I gonna have issues? That's usually the last thing that pops into your mind when you're thinking about something like Honda or Toyota. And they've built that reputation with this, and these 3.5 liters have been around for a while now, and they seem to work pretty well. Especially that 9-speed automatic is so smooth out on the road. I was really blown away that you pretty much don't feel the gears at all. It's just a simple, easy to use driving experience, and if that's what you're after, the Honda Passport absolutely delivers on that front. But I mean, eating up some of the potholes, it's now into January. We haven't really had any snow this year, but I'm sure from last couple years that I have driven, the all-wheel drive system would be more than enough to get you through about 99% of your commutes. Now, the infotainment screen, like I said, with the Apple CarPlay in here, it's great. Text messaging, Google Maps, Spotify, everything's built right into there. As you work up the trim levels, you can also add navigation into these vehicles. It's very easy. That system is responsive, works well, and it's not the full dash. You still do get physical buttons down here because you do get a dual zone climate control in the EXL and heated seats. Like I said, these are leather appointed seats. They're heated for the Minnesota winters. Plus, you pair that with a remote start built into the key fob. So I fired it up this morning. It was nice and toasty when I hopped in, and the heated seats do work pretty well in this vehicle. So I think in terms of spaciousness, it really does feel very wide in here. For some reason, compared to some of the other SUVs, they got so much stuff sometimes jammed in. The Passport really does fit nicely. I like that I can crawl in. I feel like I got space. The seats are really comfortable. The heat going, this is a power seat on this side as well with a lumbar. You could eat up a ton of miles behind the wheel of the Passport and not even really think about it. It's just brainless driving, and that's really what the goal is, right? If you're looking for something you can just hop in, hit the gym, pick up the kids, go to work, run around, get decent fuel economy, and have all the technology you'd want. Plus, if you want even more, you can jump up to that Black Edition, and that's going to give you even more equipment. But I mean, for the most part, let's touch on pricing. So MSRP on this vehicle is about $44,250. So if we're looking at the average new car price, I think at $48,000 in the US right now, we're just a little shy of that, but you're still getting things like CarPlay, you get the sunroof in this model, you get the leather heated seats and leather wrapped steering wheel, plus you get a lot of great usability and reliability out of the Honda. I think if you're shopping for maybe a crossover SUV, you're looking at the larger SUVs, I mean, this competes with a lot of tough competition in the market. But you know that Honda's going to be reliable, it's going to work, it's going to make it easy for when you hop into the vehicle, press the button, and you're off and running. So I think there's a lot to like here. And I think if you're interested, get out, take one for a spin, hop in the seat, pop open the power liftgate, see what it's like. And I think you're going to find the Honda Passport might just be a great fit for you. Now that was just a quick look and drive at the 2025 Honda Passport. Now if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.